Okay, this is a video of how to make a pressure brake bleeder out of a ordinary garden hose, or garden hose sprayer, basically a garden sprayer. So I'm just going to go over the list of the parts here that I'm using, and that way you can kind of follow along. So first off, the main component here is this Flowmaster sprayer. Okay, I got it at Home Depot. It's like $9. This is a gallon model. I was trying to find a smaller one. This was the cheapest one they had, $9. Okay, so you need this sprayer. It's brand new. You need some hose for your sprayer. Okay, what I got here was, it's 3/8 by 1/4 inner diameter by 10 feet. It's like $2.99, so this is pretty cheap. I got some other hose here. It was like $3 a piece for both of these. These are to make the fluid catch can to slip onto the bleed nipple. So these I'll be using later. But this is what you need for the sprayer. Okay, and then what you'll need for the cap are, you'll need some hardware. So what I found this at Pep Boys. So this is a 1/8 MPT 1/4 hose fitting. Okay, so what it is, it has a little hose fitting, and then it screws in. So that's going to go into the top of the cap. And then I got this thing. We'll see how this works. This is actually a coupling. So 1/8 female MPT coupling. So this is going to screw. This is going to screw onto the bottom of this to the bottom of the cap. Okay, so the caps you're going to need. Now, this is for, I'm doing this for a Chevy Silverado 2007. Okay. So you need to find a brake master cylinder cap that's going to fit your vehicle. Okay, so I found this one. This one's at Pep Boys. The brand is Dorman, part number 42042. Okay, GM. And so what it is the brake master cylinder cap. And I also got the gasket as well, because I wanted it to make sure it's going to seal tightly. It's going to be, you know, an air pressure cap. So I got this as well. These are both $6 for both of these. And then I'm going to use some RTV silicone gasket maker. I'm going to use that to help seal up the fitting, and then I also have some brake fluid here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here and have you follow along as I make the pressure bleeder. First off, we want to disassemble the sprayer. It comes disassembled. You have to assemble it. So what I did is I actually just made a slit in this hose. This hose we're not going to use. This is going to go by the wayside. And so what's left here is it's actually a 1/4 inch kind of a barb fitting here. And then we'll use this cap here that secures it on here. So what we'll do is we'll take the hose, clear hose, and attach it to this nipple here. Okay. I put the hose inside there. Now I'm just going to slide this cap over it here. What this cap does is, when it's inside the sprayer, okay, like so, this slips over the top and secures it inside there. Okay. Okay, so the sprayer is pretty much set up. The only other part we need for the sprayer is obviously this the pump to create a pressure, so we can just screw that in there. You want to make sure, if you're using a used, you want to make sure it's really clean. You don't want to pump any contaminants into your brake system. Okay, so we have the tubing set up now. Now we're going to set up the cap. Now what you want to do with the cap is, this particular cap is, it has, you can't see because I've actually put some RTV sealant gasket maker on there. What there is there's actually like a carved out line that goes from here all the way up the side, and you basically want to fill that in with some kind of silicone so that air can't leak out of the cap. So that's basically step one. Step two, okay, you want to get the cap on the ground, and you want to drill a hole in the middle and the top of it here. I'm going to use I think it's 5/16 inch bit to drill through there. That way I can put the fitting in there. Okay, so I just drilled out the hole here, and so I started out with 5/16. I stepped it up to a 3/8 bit, and that was about the size that I needed to get at. So what I'm going to do here is you take this fitting here. Okay, it's a 1/4 inch hose fitting. Okay, and just basically want to screw it in there so it's kind of a tight fit. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a socket or a wrench and basically just screw it into the top of this thing. And then from the bottom, I'm going to put some RTV sealant around here before I put the coupling on. That way it's going to, you know, create an airtight seal. Okay, so now I got this thing threaded, so I got it threaded through. Okay, so just use the crescent wrench to screw it in there. Now I'm just going to use a washer here, and then I'm going to put this coupling as a kind of a securing nut on the back of it. Now I'm going to use the RTV sealant to basically make an airtight seal in here. So I'm just going to put it around the outside of this and behind the washer. Okay, here's the completed product. So what I did is I just I got the coupling on there, and then I just generously put the RTV sealant around there so there's really no holes or gaps for air or the fluid to escape. So I got that. So that's what the bottom side of the cap looks like. I'm just going to wait for that to set up and dry before I go. You want to make sure it's set up before you use it. And then here's the top of it with the hose connector. So now basically all you have to do next is I have the gasket here. This is the gasket for the cap. So this would fit in right over this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out this middle part right here just with a razor blade. Just cut this circle out so that way the coupling that I have on there will fit through there. Because really all you need is just the outside gasket so that when you secure it onto the master cylinder reservoir, there's this gasket to help make the seal. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this middle part out, and then after I do that, I'm just going to put it inside of the reservoir cap. Okay, after you put that in there, I haven't put it in yet because I'm just going to wait for that to dry, but next step basically is you just want to put the hose onto the hose fitting here. So you just need to slip a little hose clamp onto the tube, and then you're just going to want to slip the tube over the hose fitting, and then secure that, and then secure the hose clamp so it doesn't come off. So let's see here. Okay, so you just want to secure it here. Okay, and then just tighten up the hose clamp right there. Okay, and then here's what you should have as a completed project. So it's basically the hose secured on there with the hose clamp. The gasket's going to go over there once that's dry. Okay, we have the 10 feet of tubing, and there's our sprayer. So basically how it works is you would fill up the sprayer here with whatever brake fluid you're going to use. If you're going to flush out the whole system, I'd probably put at least 2, I guess that's probably a quart of brake fluid in there. You make sure that it's tight, it's closed off, no air can get in, and you just basically pump this up. You put this cap on the reservoir, you put this, and then you pump up, you get it up to, you probably don't want to exceed 20 psi. This doesn't have a pressure gauge, so you kind of have to go off feel, but and then once you're finished flushing out the system, on this one it's nice, there's basically just a air release valve, so you can release the pressure, take this off. Take a look at my other video. I'm going to make a video of me actually doing the whole flushing of my Chevy Silverado. And then what you can do with these caps is, if you say you have more than one vehicle, like I have a Mercury Mountaineer and a BMW 3 Series, I just would need 3 different caps for each one. So each vehicle would have its own cap. You just take off the hose clamp, attach the appropriate cap for the vehicle, and then you flush out the system. So you have one dedicated pressure bleeder, and you just change out the caps for each vehicle. So I'll show you in another. Check out my my other videos. I'm going to show you how I actually do it on the Chevy Silverado 2007. So thanks for looking. Hopefully this is helpful.